Recently, I sat down and spoke with Lieutenant Mike Norman, the Public Information Officer for the Cleveland Division of Fire, and we spoke about some tips you can use to help prevent emergencies that may lead you to having to call the fire department. Okay, joining me right now is Lieutenant Mike Norman, the Public Information Officer with the Cleveland Division of Fire, and we're talking about some tips you can use during this cold winter months to stay safe. Mike, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Dan.
So, within winter, what are some of the three big calls that may come into the fire department?
So we never know what's coming in the winter, but I predict this winter in Cleveland we're going to have bad weather and good basketball. So related to the bad weather, we're going to see an increase in motor vehicle accidents. We're going to see an increase in fires, a lot of them caused by people trying to stay warm. And we see an increase in carbon monoxide responses as well.
Okay. Well, let's look at driving first. What are some things people should know before they head out on the road when we know that there's big, bad weather coming in?
Well, know that you need more time. You're going to drive slower. It's going to take more time for you to prepare your car. Hopefully your car is ready for the winter with good tires. Keep at least a half a tank of gas in your vehicle. And then you want to make sure you clean off all the windows and all the mirrors. Make sure that you can see. This is a good time to invest in wiper blades and washer fluid. Make sure that you can continue to see out those windows and just be ready. Give yourself more time in the winter months because it's going to take you longer to get where you're going.
You know, and some people even prepare even a safety kit in the car. Talk about that.
Yeah, it's a good thing to have some warm clothing in the car, maybe a blanket, some food. You know, you just never know when you might get stuck on the roadway. So it's good to have a shovel on board, maybe some sand, salt, gravel, something. If you do get stuck, you can dig yourself out. You can give yourself a little traction. Worst case scenario, you can use the mats in the car actually to put them under the tires if you get stuck. But hopefully people will take their time and not get stuck this winter.
Now, with winter being so cold, therein lies problems with heating your house. Talk about some mistakes people make and what they can do better.
Well, one of the common culprits that we have are space heaters, electric space heaters. The key with space heaters is they need space. You want to make sure there's 3 feet of clearance around the space heater. Remember that space heater may cycle off. If it gets the room up to temperature, it may turn off and then turn back on. So if you're leaving the house, you want to make sure that's turned off, or even better, unplug it. And with a space heater or any heat-producing appliance, you never want to plug them into an extension cord and never into a power strip. Those want to be plugged directly into the wall. So that's a space heater, that's your refrigerator, coffee maker, microwave, anything that has a big electrical draw like that, plug that directly into hopefully a grounded outlet.
Okay. Talk about our gas furnaces. A lot of houses have gas furnaces. Making those winter ready.
Yeah, hopefully people have had a certified technician check and make sure that their gas furnace is good to go. Those aren't a common source of fires, but they can be a source of carbon monoxide. So you want to make sure that the venting for the gas furnace, as with your gas-powered, gas-fueled hot water tank, make sure that those are venting directly to the outside and those fumes aren't going to build up inside the house.
And a lot of old houses, too, they have active working fireplaces. That can be a fire hazard, too, can it?
It can certainly be a fire hazard anytime you have a fire inside of your house, and they can also be a source for carbon monoxide. Anything that you burn, whether it's firewood, whether you're burning the fumes from your exhaust in your car, you never want to warm your car up in the garage because those exhaust fumes can come into the house and cause a CO emergency.
Yeah, you know, my parents have a fireplace in their house too, and they always have a glass gate in front of it to keep the little kids from going in and preventing from embers from flying out and starting a fire too.
Right. So though you want to keep children and pets away from those fireplaces.
Now you mentioned carbon monoxide. That is a big call probably for a majority of the calls you get can be about carbon monoxide. What exactly is carbon monoxide?
So carbon monoxide it comes from combustion. So whether you're burning gas for your furnace and your hot water tank, a fireplace, your car, like I mentioned, those are all going to create carbon monoxide. And we see an increase in carbon monoxide runs because our houses are sealed up in the wintertime and we're running that furnace more often. So you want to make sure that the signs of carbon monoxide poisoning, they mimic the flu but without the fever. So you're going to have headache, loss of consciousness, altered consciousness, you're going to have dizziness, nausea, vomiting, those types of things. And if the whole family is experiencing that, that can be a trigger for us to consider that there may be a carbon monoxide emergency.
Well, if the whole family is experiencing this, what is the first thing they should do? Is it call 911 or should they get out to open fresh air?
Yeah, you want to get to fresh air. That's the best thing to do, and make sure you're calling 911. That is an emergency. We encourage people to have a carbon monoxide detector in their house. That's a great investment for your family. In fact, it's something that the Cleveland Division of Fire is providing now for Cleveland residents, and that's an important thing to protect your family from carbon monoxide.
Yeah, that's an important program that you just launched. I think it was last year. Talk about that. How does that program work? What's available?
Yeah, it's been a priority for Chief Luke since he became chief of the department. We have got a grant fund for some combination carbon monoxide smoke alarms, and then we're actually working in partnership with the Western Reserve Fire Museum, the Fire Museum over by the Guardian Stadium. They're collecting money to buy more carbon monoxide smoke alarms, combination carbon monoxide smoke alarms. Those are being distributed along with our normal smoke alarm program through the number 216-361-5535. The American Red Cross provides the smoke alarms, but we're also putting in one combination alarm because you don't need as many carbon monoxide alarms in your house, but we want to make sure everybody has at least one.
And I understand you're also accepting donations to purchase more of these carbon monoxide detectors. Where can they go for that?
Right, so the website is www.wrfmc.com. And that's the Western Reserve Fire Museum's website. There's a button right on there where you can make a donation. There's a QR code there as well. So it's something that we're trying to get out to we've already collected over $1,000 towards that program, hoping people will continue. I know the holiday season is over, but if you're still in a giving mood, this is a great way to help protect people. And
once again, it's so important. That phone number, if someone watching needs a smoke detector or one of those combo carbon monoxide detectors, what's that phone number one more time?
216-361-5535. That's Operation Save a Life. That's from the American Red Cross. But those are free smoke alarms and free combination alarms that are installed by Cleveland firefighters. Been a really successful program for us, saved a lot of lives.
Lieutenant Mike Norman, thank you so much for being here again. The final message, would you say, just be prepared, and a little bit of common sense can go a long way.
Yeah, nobody anticipates that they're going to be in a motor vehicle accident. They don't anticipate that there will be these problems, but these issues are going to come up, so just be mindful, be ready, and stay safe this winter.
All right, Mike, thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan.